Alright, so welcome back to the tutorial. We will continue where we left off. What we're going to be doing is essentially just rendering some more chicken-like things into it. So join me live. This is what we made in the last couple hours. We made this this here chicken, this KFC chicken, and now we're going to put it into Photoshop. So let's grab it and open it up in Adobe Photoshop. Give it a couple seconds. Photoshop is opening. It's bouncing, ready to go. Looking forward to having it here. Photoshop is on the way. Good morning. Almost went to sleep, but then I saw that my render for the KFC chicken finished, so I felt like, oh, now is a great opportunity to wake up and finish out that render. So, welcome to a super late night or early morning creativity with DAIII Live, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us this evening. It's very late, but you know, it's important to just kind of be silly and have a good time. All right, so welcome back to the show, and what we're going to do is continue on the tutorial. We're actually live streaming to YouTube as we speak, and that's fun. So that's what we're on. We're on YouTube right now, live streaming, and you'll be able to see the screen. We are rendering some KFC chicken. Yes, it's exactly what we're doing right now. So let's rearrange our workspace to our essentials. And we went in on Google Images and found a few images. Hey, good morning. We found a few images that could be really helpful. So we found some actual chicken. So I'm going to bring that in here now. I'm going to flip the screen over here. Oops. So we brought in some actual chicken. Our render is this thing. We made this thing in the past couple hours. Let's put some real chicken in there. So place the chicken in place and use the quick selection tool. And just in our layer panel, just kind of go over and select the different parts of the chicken meat, the fried chicken meat. Just go ahead and just keep selecting different little chunks of the food. All right, so we're just kind of hovering over the chicken. Great, grabbing that plate, adding these little points over here to make sure you don't miss any little nuggets of the chicken. It's absolutely crucial that we get every bit. Then right click on it and select selected mask. Then we use this tool called the Smart Radius, and this is going to help trim the edges to be a little bit more accurate. We can even shift the edge in if we want it to be a little bit sharper, or reduce our smoothness, or increase our contrast. These are all different strategies that I like to use to get the sharpest chicken cut out. We can shift our edge out or shift it in. We can smooth it out or smooth it, not smooth it. I'm going to leave it at 1% smoothness and hit OK. With that chicken selected, we're going to hit Command J on the keyboard, and that duplicates the chicken. Cool. So next we're going to place the chicken inside of the bucket. To do this with the given angles, we're going to hide our chicken, and we're going to draw another shape. It's going to be a mask. So let's get the lasso tool, or no, let's get the ellipse tool. And with the excuse me, with the ellipse tool selected, we're going to draw an ellipse that fits about the size of our canvas right here. So we have our KFC ellipse. Moving the canvas around, I'm going to fill this with a solid color. I'm going to fill it with black. Yeah, so let's do that. Make a new layer. Boom, we'll fill this with black. Next, we will turn this into an alpha channel. Or actually, we can just make it easy. I'm just going to select that and delete that section from the chicken. And look at that, now we got chicken inside, but we see our plate here. It's a little weird to see the plate at this angle, so We're going to use the quick selection tool to kind of undo that little mistake and get rid of the extra chicken that we don't want anybody to see. Cool. Great. Cool. Next, I got some pictures of some caged chicken. We're going to utilize this as well. We're going to have it feeding into the system. We're going to feed these chicken into the thing where they will reside forever. Great. With the chicken coop, we're going to erase sections of the chicken poop. Get rid of that chicken stuff. And we'll kind of just bring this forward. Or maybe we just put this like inside the window. I'm trying to think, how do we want to include these caged chicken? Oh, I got an idea. We can put them, we could have that be real KFC chicken like that, or we can have it just be the caged birds, the caged chicken variation. I'll show you what I mean. Let's take this image and split it in half. So we can just do layer via cut. So we got these two halves of the chicken. I'm going to place this one over here. And using our puppet pinish tool, we're going to kind of pin this side to that. And I'm going to grab this side and pin it to the other. Oh, thank you, Arfe Bagastani. Thank you for that. Cool. Now we're going to grab these caged birds. Actually, we'll see if we can isolate and remove selected mask, and see if we can do a smart radius on this stuff. Increase the contrast, hit OK, get rid of that top part of the caged birds. Cool, so it'd be like a mountain of chicken with these caged birds on top of the mountain of chicken. It all makes sense, because you know that chicken's got to come from somewhere. So we're just going to put these caged chicken up top. I'll put it right about here. And we'll erase these extra little things. Okay, now we're going to go to our warp tool. So we can go to warp. And now we can kind of use the warp tool to stretch the chicken across the top here. There we go. So we got this chicken smashed together to make the KFC chicken. You know, it's what's required in order to make the chicken that we eat. And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of Americans, forget that. So we're going to make another stack and flip this one. And we'll kind of rotate the chicken, the caged chicken. Great. Let's copy both of those, send them below, move them up. Just a big old stack of caged chicken. Doesn't it just make you want to eat chicken? Yum. Cool. Now inside of all those layers we need to add shadows. So I'm going to use the shadow tool and kind of just burn some of the shadows and then even some of the midtones of the layers that should be affected. Alright, so we just added some shadows to the caged chickens. Cool, let's add some fluffy feathers. There we go. We found all these images on Google, by the way. So let's just remove the black by switching it to a screen. There we go. So then we're left with all these chicken feathers. And we're going to place some chicken feathers up top. And we're going to flip it around, place some over here, rotate it a bit, make it larger. Great, we've got more feathers. Let's bring in those. These ones are a little too fancy looking, but we might be able to use some of them. Let's hit screen. Great, so now we got our chicken feathers all in the space. Yep, that's how the chicken's made. Yum. So good. Cool. Cool, alright. Next thing. More KFC paraphernalia. So let's go back into the Chrome browser. And we'll go KFC images. Let's see, KFC truck, is that a thing? Oh wow, that is a thing. Alright, maybe we can put the KFC truck in here somewhere. Looks pretty good. Let's view this image. Cool, we'll get this KFC truck on the road here. And yep, let's do that there. Similar to before, we're going to use that quick selection tool to select just our truck and the wheels, and then not select the grass and stuff above. We don't want that. I don't want that, at least. And we're going to add this over here. Just grabbing everything in this truck, but not grabbing the ground as much as we can. It's okay if we overshoot. Cool. We'll do select and mask. You can see kind of a regular theme going on here. You know, the process is very similar in both ways that we would remove items from the scene. Very similar processes. Cool, so we have this. Let's Command J to bring just our KFC truck. Wonderful. We're going to push this somewhere. Maybe we can make it a little bit smaller, but not too much smaller. Okay, let's put the KFC truck right here. Going to select a color range, which is this blue. Actually, what we'll do instead is we'll go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter, sorry. And what we're going to do with the Camera Raw Filter is grab everything that is blue and change the hue to red. Don't know how I can get this to be red. It's close. Oh, I got it. What we'll do is we'll separate the truck. So I'll just grab this area here, and then from there we'll go to hue and saturation, and we'll change the hue of just the front of the truck to be that bright red. There we go. Cool, we got a red truck for KFC. We're going to put the same chicken layer on top of that truck so that it's clear that this is coming from the same thing. Awesome. Then we're going to look up some toxic waste. Ooh. And we'll just go ahead and erase some of the stuff up here. Alright, we gotta duplicate this and make a reflection in the water. Alright, we're just adjusting the hue and saturation of some of those buckets. Just making them a little bit brighter green. Yummy, yummy KFC. Alright, cool. Contamination. Just going through, cutting out this sign. Alright, cool. I think this is pretty good rough. So we can bring this into the next thing. So I duplicate everything and merge all these layers down. And then what we can do is trim it to the size of the composition here. Next, I will go to Filter, and then go to Analog Effects Pro 2. And this brings it into a plugin, a free plugin for Photoshop called Analog Effects Pro 2. It's this thing. And now we can kind of do our final coloring adjustments to our KFC scene here. And we'll start off with like a template color, and then we'll kind of work backwards from it. I have some other ones that I've made custom. These are some custom ones of those things. I did kind of like that last one, but not with that much blue. Maybe more of a pink or a red. Might look kind of nice. Cool. Let's go to our color mode here. Our lens vignette, and reduce the size of the vignette. Okay. I might need to put some more stars in the sky or something. We can go to our detail extraction and extract more detail or reduce that. I guess I'm going to reduce that. Go to our contrast. We can decrease the contrast or we can increase it slightly to bring a little bit more grime. I'm going to change up the dirt and scratches so that we get a little bit more grossness into the frame. A little bit more extra material and like little stuff to throw into there. That's a little too much. Let's try scratches. Okay, so these are just little scratches that we can add to the photograph. Cool. Let's go back to our classic camera and build out our camera kit. See what a double exposure would look like. Let's see. Okay, and then we'll just reduce the exposure. Oops, maybe not that one. Alright, cool. So we got some extra light over there. Just kind of add a little bit of light, kind of like a little haze into the scene. Yeah, I like a little bit of haze, and I'll hit OK. So now it's going to kind of colorize our image with all that information, and we can still tweak it from there a little bit more, bringing in some more color here. There we go. And then finally, I'll just go back into camera raw filter and play with my curves. See if we can get some of the reds to be a little bit more present. Just kind of warming up the image. Whoa, too much. Hello. Alright, so that just warmed it up a little bit. Let's go to our green channel. Let's just kind of play around with the green. What's going on with the green? Alright, won't do much with that. Let's go to our blue channel. Cool. Alright, I guess last but not least, I'm going to add a little bit more contrast. Or maybe we'll reduce it, I don't know. Somewhere in there. Cool. Alright, so we got some vibrance in there. Excellent. Almost about to wrap up here. Let's go to our libraries. I'm just going to add a little watermark here. Okay, got the watermark. And then I might just want to add a little bit more stars in that sky. So I might just add the stars manually, or we could just find a little image of a night sky. So we'll go to Google Images and look up night sky. And look up our images. There's plenty to choose from if you Google such a thing. I like this one. Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Looks kind of like snow. So just drag that onto the desktop. And I'm going to bring that right from the desktop into here. Kind of place it roughly where it needs to go. Then we're going to set it from multiply or normal mode. We're going to set it to screen so that it only appears in these dots. And then we're going to erase it from most of the canvas. So we'll just grab our eraser tool and hit rasterize, and we'll kind of erase it from the trees here, kind of erase it from the bucket and the chicken and all the chicken in the coop. Cool, kind of just erasing stars. Then we can go to our image adjustments, and then they have this thing called oh, do they change the name of it here? Ah, they do change the name of it. Give me 1 second. I think it's called the, I guess we can find an exposure will work this way. And so we can expose less of the stars or more of the stars with this technique. This is kind of just to make it less cluttered. And then if we change that last one, the offset, we can really make the stars look like they belong there. Because before it looks like a little overwhelming, so we can kind of just change that offset. And so that's cutting out more of the stars from that image. And yeah, so using these two together, we can make the stars look more distant or closer, more present. All right, cool, hit OK. I think that's about it. I think the last thing I usually do to these kind of drawings is I'll go in with a brush and kind of brush up some areas that I want to be like focused. So we're just going to go with a shadow brush and kind of just add some extra shadows into a few places here and there. Okay, and then last but not least, I go in with an actual paintbrush, with a very large brush, with a weak drive, and kind of just tap on little areas that I want light to kind of focus on. So if I want this to kind of look like a light, we got to have a little bit of white light hitting on it. So I put around that forehead, and we're going to scale that down, put one on each letter here. So this kind of just makes things glow. It gives that illusion of, there's some light going on here. And put some in different spots. And then similar to that, I'm going to also do the same thing up here. So going with a soft brush and just kind of make some light. Cool, just added some lights easily. Not a problem. We got some stars in the sky. I think we can call this one done. There you have it, KFC. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, thank you so much for watching Creativity with DAIII Live. Let me see if I can end this tutorial here. So again, hopefully you learned some stuff. We did some KFC inspired art tonight. Thank you so much for watching Creativity with DAIII Live. Have a creative and productive day or productive night. Wherever you are, when you think creativity, think DAIII. All right. Good night.